You are looking at the Cave in Mishawaka on cold winter nights like this. For 99 years, fans have come into this venerable gym, and tonight they come to see the hottest team in the area as the Mishawaka Cavemen put their 10-game win streak on the line against the Fairfield Falcons on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody, with the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Mishawaka legend Craig Heatherly. It's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for this prime-time game on TV 46. Bo, the Fairfield Falcons come in, they have a record of 3-9, but boy, it sure could be better. Derek Heinen's team has really been snake-bit these last three.
Yeah, this team could easily be 6-6 or even better. I think one of the things with Derek's team is offense. We talk about that offensive splurge that they have to have, and that's what they've kind of struggled with. And they got a great opponent tonight that's going to challenge them, and it's a great opportunity for them to work on their offense, to work for that sectional.
How great an opponent? Well, Mishawaka comes in here with a record of 13-2. They've got a brand new coach in Bodie Bender, and they have won 10 in a row and look pretty good doing it.
Yeah, and I think when you start winning 10 in a row, you start believing in yourself, start believing in your teammates, and that's kind of the one question about this team. Who have they played, and what are they going to play here coming up? Because I tell you what, the next few weeks are going to be a brutal match for them, and I think that's the biggest thing. Can they believe in themselves in the next 2 weeks?
Well, Craig Heatherly not only played here at Mishawaka, but he also coached on the college level, so nobody better to ask than you. As a new coach, how do you get buy-in from your players the way that Bodie has?
Yeah, it's a great question, Chuck. You have to build a we over me mentality. And it begins with, are you more focused on winning or your ego? And then each day you're building progress, you're worried about progress, not perfection, and ultimately, how do you build trust amongst you and your team? That team right here tonight is Coach Bender's squad. They've done a fantastic job, and he's truly built that.
So does the winning streak get to 11, or do the Falcons soar to an upset? We'll tell the story as we bring the St. Joe County pregame show and the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win, and it comes your way next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Interra Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to the Cave in Mishawaka as we get ready for tip-off between Fairfield and Mishawaka tonight. As we continue our St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show, time now for our Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. And when you start with this Fairfield team, you have to go with their leading scorer, and that's Noah Mast. The 6'4" junior forward is averaging 9.5 points a game, but also 4 rebounds a game. Excellent free throw shooter, and he also leads this team in block shots and steals. They can also get it going from the outside thanks to Seth Yoder, one of the most accurate snipers in all of Northern Indiana. Yoder is shooting 46% from beyond the arc. The 5'7" senior scoring only 7 points a game, so they'd love to be able to feed him on the perimeter some more. The keys for Derek Heinen and the Falcons.
The keys to win tonight for the Falcons, they need to simply limit turnovers. I think that's one of the biggest things that's kind of hurt them as of recently, and protect the paint. They're going to be at a size disadvantage tonight, so they have to get a body on somebody, and they need to move people and the ball to get shots. They need to move that ball around, and they need to be in motion as well. Derek Heinen in his second season at Fairfield.
I mean, we got to continue to improve defensively, got to continue to improve in the rebounding aspect. We got to keep games close, and then it just comes down to executing a couple things in those close games that maybe we haven't executed or haven't hit some shots, and sometimes it's as simple as that.
Mishawaka is as deep a team as you'll come across in the area. They really go 10 deep, but their 2 leading scorers do stand out. Art Jones is having a heck of a senior year. The 5'9" guard is averaging almost 16 points a game. He had a career-high 26 against Northridge on Saturday night, but he also leads the team in assists and steals. And then when they got to go inside, they got a big hoss in Brady Fisher, the 6'4" junior, more renowned as the quarterback of the Cavemen on the football field, but he can hoop it. 11 points and 6 rebounds a game, and he leads the team in block shots. The keys to win for first-year coach Bodie Bender of the Cavemen.
The keys to win tonight for the Cavemen, they need to share the basketball. Yes, they go 10 deep, but they need to make sure they share the basketball with all 10 players. Need to crash the glass. Yes, they have the size advantage, but they still need to crash the glass, especially on the offensive end. And don't lose the shooters. They need to make sure they get a hand in the face in the Fairfield shooters. Bodie Bender in his first season at Mishawaka.
We had a lot of guys with experience at the varsity level, and just kind of came about with the plan of playing 10 guys. Sat down with our coaching staff and kind of drew out a little bit of a substitution pattern, and we've stuck to it to this point, and I think it's really paid off for us.
Those are the Jordan Automotive keys to win on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. The PA system playing Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, but that's what Fairfield has come to do. Try to snap the 10-game winning streak of the Cavemen. The tip-off comes your way next on 46. And this edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and investing. Taking the floor right now, the Mishawaka wrestling team, which won the state team duels championship in Class 4A earlier this month. And they are getting a well-deserved ovation. I said 4A, it's actually 3A that they won the state championship in. Steve Sandifer with a terrific team, and you'll meet one of those young men as our Tony Letcher Health Market student athlete at halftime. So while the Cavemen wrestling team is getting honored, we're getting ready to give you the starting lineups for tonight's basketball game. The Fairfield starting lineup sponsored by Millersburg Lumber. Here's Bo Hunt.
Starting lineup for Fairfield tonight: Seth Yoder, the 5'7" senior, averaging 7 a game. Noah Mast, 6'4" junior, averaging a 9.5. Mitchell Miller, 6' junior, averaging 4.5 a game. Number 21, Alex Hoffer, 5'9" junior, averaging 7.5 a game. And Tyson Frey, the 6' junior, averaging 8.5 a game. The starters tonight for the Mishawaka Cavemen: the sophomore, Jackson Snyder, the 5'10", averaging 3 and 3 a game. Cooper Pritchett, the 6'3" junior, averaging 6.5 a game. Rashawn Johnson, the 6'3" junior, averaging 8 a game. Number 21, Art Jones. You're going to hear a lot about him tonight. The 5'9" senior, averaging almost 16 points a game. And number 23, the quarterback. Oh, no, not the quarterback. Brady Fisher, the 6'4" junior, averaging 11 a game. That's not 11 touchdowns a game. That's 11 points a game.
The series history is not exactly a rich one. These two teams only started playing each other last season, and Fairfield in Derek Heinen's first season picked up the win over at the Falcons' Nest by a count of 56-49, almost exactly a year ago today. The officiating crew, well, we'll meet them in a moment. They've turned out the lights here for the spotlight introductions for the Cavemen. As they try to rev up this big crowd, Bo will tell us about the uniform apparel tonight.
Hey, the check on the uniforms for this game are brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the Mishawaka Cavemen, are wearing the white jerseys and shorts, the maroon numbers and letters and trim. The visiting team, the Fairfield Falcons, wearing the navy blue jersey and shorts, the white numbers, letters, and trim. These teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel, promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Now we can tell you about our officiating crew, a local squad here. Ben Fine in the tallest of the trio. Mark McCammon, the most diminutive. David Wolford there in the middle. And of course, the IHSA wants to give you a reminder that they're always looking for more officials. In fact, one of the things they're doing here at Mishawaka High School, and Bodie Bender is a part of this, is they teach an officiating class. And by the time you get through that elective, you're eligible for your IHSA license. In fact, I saw a photo about a week ago of a young lady who was working her first basketball game. I think it was a middle school contest. Nevertheless, they need more officials. They're working on it here at places like Mishawaka and Penn. if you're watching and want to get interested, contact Jimmy Arnett, and he'll put you in the ball game. And we're just about ready to tip it off here from the Venerable Cave in Mishawaka. It's Tyson Fry jumping for Fairfield against Rasan Johnson. And the Cavemen knocked the ball out of bounds, and it'll be Fairfield basketball.
Opening tip brought to you by Fairfield Athletics. Opening tip went right out of bounds. Turnover.
So 3-9 are the Falcons. They have lost their last 3 by a combined 6 points. Their best win this season came over Northeast Corner Conference rival Lakeland. They lost to Westview their last time out 50-47. Seth Yoder works it around on the outside to Mitchell Miller. He is the true point guard of this team. Miller kicks it back outside to Noah Mast. Mast driving baseline over Cooper Pritchett, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound controlled by Mishawaka, and the Cavemen want to run. Mishawaka comes in with a record of 13-2, having won 10 straight. Their best win this season came over Tippecanoe Valley. But a turnover here by the Cavemen gets the ball to Fairfield. Alex Hofer brings it across for the Falcons. Mishawaka opening up in a straight switching man-to-man. Tyson Fry trying to back down Fisher. Yoder for 3. Ring it up. We told you he is very sharp from the outside. 46% three-point shooter. It's sponsored by OA Construction Services.
One of the things Fairfield's going to have to do tonight, they're going to have to knock it down from out there from the three-point range.
Rasan Johnson with a smooth move to the hole, but he couldn't get it to go. And here comes Fairfield. Yoder again. Was reluctant to pull the trigger there. Mast looks around, needs some help, but Fisher was far enough away there wasn't a 5-second count. Hofer. Now Yoder covered up in the corner by Johnson. Fairfield showing good patience with this possession, but they can't get anything going inside the paint.
Mishawaka just packing it in the weak side. They're just not playing close man on the weak side, and just backing in, taking away that lane, making them stay outside.
And Fairfield got a little bit frustrated there, tried to get the ball inside to Mast, wound up throwing it away for their first turnover. Quickly, the Falcons go to the bench, and Dayton Lockwood, a 5'10 senior averaging 3 points a game, checks in for Noah Mast. So the Cavemen 0 for 1 with a turnover in their first 2 possessions. Rasan Johnson outside, working over Seth Yoder. Jones for 3. No good, but Jackson Snyder, the all-conference linebacker, gets the rebound for the Cavemen. Nice pass to Cooper Pritchett for the layup. What a feed from Brady Fisher.
Great ball movement by the Cavemen on that. They knew where they were wanting to go with that basketball, knew how to set it up. Great inlet pass.
Nice pass underneath, and Miller kicks it right back outside. Yoder for 3. That's off the mark, and a good box out by Pritchett that time. Fisher with the left hand couldn't get it to go, but Snyder, another offensive rebound, tied up. Alternating possession will go to Mishawaka, and early on, Mishawaka's size on the boards making a difference.
Millersburg Lumber proudly supports the Falcons. Millersburg Lumber has been in business for over 100 years and is a complete building supply center with exceptional customer service.
Inbounds to Rasan Johnson. Nice spin move with the left hand for 2. Johnson, the 6'3 junior, averaging 8 points a game. And Mishawaka grabs its first lead. Fairfield. Mast trying to back down Pritchett. Hofer couldn't shake Fisher that time. Mast for 3. That's good. Sponsored by OA Construction Services. Noah Mast with his 10th three-pointer of the year, and then the Cavemen throw it away.
Yeah, just trying to get up the court. Wasn't paying attention on that last pass there. Another turnover for the Cavemen.
Bodie Bender admits sometimes his team will have periods where they just lose focus a little bit. That's to be expected for a young squad, but they better watch their P's and Q's tonight with this Fairfield team. We have been warning you throughout the broadcast. They are better than the record would show. Yoder for 3 again. That was too strong, but Fairfield gets the offensive rebound with Lockwood in the corner. Pritchett ties him up, alternating possession to the Falcons.
E.B. Ford and Goshen is proud to support the Falcons Athletics. E.B. Ford has been serving the community for over 100 years. When you're ready to buy or sell, visit ebford.com. It's easy. That's E.B.
Fairfield trying to build on a 2-point lead midway through the first. Hofer with Snyder guarding him. Alex Hofer just backed him down, couldn't get the layup to go though, and here comes Mishawaka with numbers. Art Jones was held.
Yeah, it looks like Yoder reached in and got an arm on that, on Yoder.
Again, Fairfield going to its bench. Tyson Fry checking back into the game, and we'll get our first look at the freshman Brant Garber, the 5'9" guard, the son of the girls basketball coach at Fairfield, Brody Garber. Jones triggers the inbound to Jackson Snyder. Fisher spins and wins. Brady Fisher just has terrific footwork. He shows it when he runs the option. He shows it in the post as well.
Yeah, he just did a great job, and I think Tyson Frey thought he was going to have contact there, and he's coming in. He kind of fell off on that.
Meanwhile, the three from Miller is way off mark. And here comes Mishawaka. Pritchett on the 2-on-1 draws the blocking foul against Alex Hofer.
Great job by Pritchett of really going in and understanding he was going to have contact on that play and staying on balance. Just couldn't quite finish it, but it was a good job understanding that play.
Cooper Pritchett is a 62% free throw shooter on the year. Should get another look at the contact from the R&B Car Company replay. Coop's mom, Alicia, a standout basketball player at both Penn and then SIU Edwardsville as he hits the first. And you may hear his dad now and then as the voice of Notre Dame hockey and the host of Weekday Sports Beat on WSBT.
Hometown Pharmacy in Mishawaka is the best place to go for your pharmaceutical needs. Call to schedule your hormone replacement therapy today. Hometown is proud to support the Mishawaka and Fairfield high school basketball teams.
Pritchett checks out with 4 points. Mishawaka up by 2. And Tommy Herringer makes his first appearance in the lineup for the Cavemen, the 6'4" junior, who's scoring 10 points a game, has really adopted well to the 6-man role. Here's Yoder for 3. That's short, but he gets his own rebound.
Fairfield doing a really good job of crashing those boards on the offensive end, getting a lot of second and third looks.
Fry trying to back down Herringer. Now Mast open for 3. That's a little too strong, but another offensive rebound. This one by Garber, and a foul called on Mishawaka. And Bodie Bender looking out at his team saying, you've given up too many second chance points. Foul is on Fisher. That's his first. Hofer. Now Mast. Fry in the corner. They're going to let him shoot it. He's going to hit it. Tyson Fry, his 6th three-pointer of the season, and the 6-foot junior puts Fairfield back in front. All the Falcons' points from beyond the arc.
3 3-pointers tonight for Fairfield. They've put up about 9 or 10 already just here in the first quarter.
They've only tried 1-2 so far in this game. Jones gets tied up in the lane by Seth Yoder, but Mark McCammon says that's a foul. And that will be the second on Seth Yoder, and that is not anything Fairfield needed.
Yeah, Fairfield trying to get to their bench and trying to use some guys off their bench, but they don't go very deep to that bench, but it's something that's going to happen to get a playoff run for them.
Mitchell Miller back in the game. There's Herringer kicking it back outside to Rasan Johnson. Johnson lost the handle, slicing through the lane, and a 3rd turnover for the Cavemen here in the first. Miller looking, hit the cutter. That's Noah Mast, but he missed the layup. Herringer the rebound. Fairfield has had 2 or 3 plays where they've executed well but haven't been able to finish at the rim. Jones draws the contact, going strong to the basket.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Been a revolving door for both teams here in the first quarter. Fisher with a strong move in the jump stop in the lane. Hits Snyder for 3. That's too strong, but Fisher controls the carom. And Brady with the right hand this time puts it in. Fisher with 4, and the Cavemen back up on top by 1. Miller nearly traveled. Mast backing his way into the paint. Oh, nice little spin, drew the contact. This will be on Rasan Johnson, the first on him. Fairfield back to the bench. Lockwood comes back in to take the place of Tyson Fry. I think this is a nice counter move by Derek Heinen tonight, knowing he's got to try to keep guys fresh for the way that Mishawaka has played over the course of the season.
Well, yeah, and especially Mishawaka going 10 deep as well. They're going to get guys in and rotate them in. It's a good opportunity to try some things tonight. Non-conference game.
Good read by Art Jones there to intercept the pass. Herringer thought about the 3. He can hit that shot. Now Johnson trying to set up his game. Jones is yet to get on track tonight. The leading scorer for the Cavemen will back it out, and Bodie Bender says he wants to play for 1 shot.
Martin Supermarkets, groceries to go, annual subscriptions are now due. Just $29.99 for the year. Get ad pricing, digital coupons, and recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceries2go.com.
See the clock, the right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard, as Art Jones takes his time standing at midcourt in this 99-year-old gym. Boy, you think how many different players have stood in those spots over the course of the years. Jones starts the attack. The 3 is blocked by Mast. Fisher with a hook, and he got the bucket on the bump.
Wow, what an ending here to the first quarter. A block shot that turns into a bucket and a bump.
Brady Fisher, right spot, right time, and the little baby hook finds a home. Brady going to the line. He is a 70% free throw shooter on the year. The All-Northern Lakes Conference quarterback, pure on that one. And that is the end of the first quarter from the Cave in Mishawaka, where Fairfield came out sniping with 3 3-pointers in the first, but Brady Fisher countered with 7 of his own. Cooper Pritchett with 4, and the Cavemen lead it by 4, going to the second on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. I'll tell you who's comfortable tonight. That's Craig Heatherly back in his old stomping grounds. Your thoughts on this first quarter with your Bill's Heating courtside report?
It feels great to be back. No, you're seeing both teams trying to establish their style of play. Mishawaka is trying to spread it out and drive the basketball. Fairfield on the other end, they're running a motion offense. But the thing that stuck out in that quarter, Chuck, is the war in the paint. When that ball goes up on that rim, both teams are flying to the glass, and I think that's going to be the X factor for the game. It's not the size of the dog in the fight there, Chuck, but it's the size of the fight in the dog. We'll see which team comes out on top.
Mishawaka trying to get to an 11-game win streak, and his hometown pharmacy sponsors our factoids tonight. That hasn't happened since Craig Heatherly played at Mishawaka back in 2004-05. In fact, I believe, Craig, you guys won your first 17 that year?
Yes, and then if you ask Tyler Brown, Wes Leidig, and Caleb Leidig, they'll tell you who we lost to go 17-1.
Those would be Penn Kingsman, as I recall. Mishawaka with the ball to start the second quarter. Brand new crew out there for the Cavemen. That's Maddox Yohe with the leaping leaner. Gets his own rebound. Can't put that one home either. And the rebound to Tyson Fry. And this is not unusual for Bodie Bender to do this at the second quarter break. Go with the shock troops and see if he finds a combination that helps the cause.
I mean, it's just a great job of really getting out there and getting other guys in the game and trying to get a little spark from your team.
Grady Garber, a freshman in the game now for Fairfield, misses. And the rebound to the Cavemen, who have dominated on the boards. 3 on the way, and that one's misfired by Anthony Nelson. A little bit of a sloppy start to quarter number 2. Miller hawked by Nelson and fouled by Nelson.
Casper's Coin and Jewelry supports Falcon Athletics. Casper's Coin and Jewelry buys and sells gold, silver, and coins. Check out Casper'sCoinsGoshen.com.
Grady Garber, a nephew of Fairfield girls basketball coach Brody Garber. Good inbounds play and good execution as Tyson Fry finds the bank open on this Tuesday night. That's the first 2-pointer for Fairfield of the night. Herringer short on the 3. The rebound controlled by the Cavemen and misfired by Jack Troyer. And here come the Falcons. And the 3 connected by Alex Hofer. It's sponsored by OA Construction Services, and Mishawaka wants timeout. The Fairfield Falcons are raining threes in the Princess City and lead it by 1 on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community.
OA Construction Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics. OA Construction Services, when you want commercial renovations done right.
Well, OA Construction Services sponsoring the Fairfield three-pointers tonight, and they've had their name called out 4 times here in the first half. Falcons shooting 40% from beyond the arc. Mishawaka is 0 for 5 from three-point range, and right now that's a developing story in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Fairfield, they're going to keep it outside. If they're going to have the shots and can't get it inside, they're not afraid to shoot that 3. And we talked about before the game, Fairfield needs to find an offense. They need to find that identity on offense. They're only giving up about 51 points a game, the same as Mishawaka, but they're only averaging mid-40s, and they need to find out a way to score some points. And I think that might be their answer, is knocking down some threes, taking as many as they can.
Meanwhile, as well as Mishawaka shot the 3 on Saturday night, they've really struggled here tonight. Until then, Anthony Nelson lights it up for his 19th three-pointer of the season. It's sponsored by Hometown Pharmacy, and the Cavemen are back in front. Garber cross court to Hofer. Now Mitchell Miller. Good ball movement that time by the Falcons. Herringer defending Hofer and defending him well. Lockwood needs some help. Fairfield showing some patience here, but Mishawaka has done a great job shutting down the lane for most of this game. Nast back outside.
Again, Mishawaka just packing that backside.
And then Mast with another triple sponsored by OA Construction. Noah Mast with his second 3 of the night. And Fairfield back in front. Maddox Yohe, member of the baseball team. Pitcher and a shortstop, gets across court to Nelson. Nelson thought about the deep 3, instead goes inside. Herringer decides to drive, kick out. The 3 on the way for Jack Troyer, no good. And Fairfield the rebound. Good defensive set for the Falcons. Mass surveys the scene. Oh, Garber. The bench told him to hit it. He leaped, then saw the shot wasn't there and winds up with the turnover.
The Fairfield Athletic Department is incredibly proud of all their student athletes who compete in the classroom and their sport. Also, thank you to all the managers, coaches, and event workers. Their support is what makes the Falcons fly.
The coach and the bench believed he could hit it. He didn't once he had a hand in his face and changed his mind. Herringer fades and fires and can't get it to go. And the Cavemen are sauntering down to some one-and-done possessions, not to Bodie Bender's liking right now. Fry kicks it outside. Miller for three, too strong. The rebound tipped around. Battle for the loose ball. Oh, Herringer absolutely disposed of Fry that time. There was no call, and then the ball goes out of bounds to Mishawaka.
Hometown Pharmacy in Mishawaka is the best place to go for your pharmaceutical needs. Call to schedule your hormone replacement therapy today. Hometown is proud to support the Mishawaka and Fairfield High School basketball teams.
A moment ago, you saw Derek Heinen, the second-year coach of the Fairfield Falcons, on the bench. Young man who had a brilliant high school career at Columbia City, went into the Crossroads League and played for both Huntington and St. Francis in his career, scored 2,000 points as a college player. Apprenticed as an assistant at places like Norwell and Whitco, and now in his second year of running this Fairfield program. Last year had dynamite season, 15 wins. Learning some things this year.
Yeah, got some younger guys on the team this year, got some experienced guys that he had to fill their roles, and really learning some stuff. I think they're really learning a lot about themselves tonight.
Herringer for three. It's sponsored by Hometown Pharmacy. Tommy came into the game as a 50% three-point shooter for the year, and he puts Mishawaka back on top in this seesaw struggle. Hofer lost the handle, out of bounds to Mishawaka.
Imaginarium Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imaginarium is always working toward a great finish. IFT is proud to support all student athletes.
Remember Fairfield, one of their top players, Seth Yoder, on the bench with foul trouble right now with 2. Maybe that's shown in the last couple of possessions for the Falcons with turnovers. Ball deflected away by Miller. Dean Huppert, the fine athletic director here at Mishawaka, makes the one-hand grab. As you look at Bodie Bender, first year as the head coach of Mishawaka. Of course, we saw him last year in the semi-state taking his Carroll Cougars to Northside Gym. Yohe couldn't get the runner to go out of bounds. It'll go to Mishawaka. Bodie did such a great job with that Carroll team, but I know he's glad to be back in the area. Jimtown alum. Herringer kicks it outside. Yohe pulls up from the wing. Can't get it to go, and the rebound to Fry.
Fairfield's really been dominating the board offensively and defensively. You haven't given the Cavemen many second opportunities tonight, where they've gotten quite often second opportunities on their offensive end.
Fry looked like he was being held, no whistle, and a third straight turnover for Fairfield.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink, who reminds you that good vision is key to success on the field and in the classroom. Schedule your child's yearly eye exam at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay.
Yohe for 3. Bring it up. It's sponsored by Hometown Pharmacy. Maddox Yohe bangs home the triple. Mishawaka with its biggest lead at 5. Perhaps a key possession here for the Falcons as we get to the final 100 seconds of the first half. Reminder, coming up at halftime are Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. Cross court, Mitchell Miller with a beautiful baseline drive for his first basket of the game. Cuts the lead to 3, and Mishawaka throws it away.
A new year means new beginnings, so isn't it time to work for a company where employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance, because Reshcore in Bristol is hiring. Production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family, visit reshcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Custer misses the 3, but Tyson Fry with the rebound for Fairfield. Good catch by Miller. Brooks Custer. Now it's Miller for 3. That won't go, and the rebound comes to Yohe. Fairfield has cooled off a little bit outside the arc. Yowie for three again. He's feeling it.
As soon as you said that, Yowie knocks down back-to-back threes for Mishawaka.
Cavemen up 6. Let's see if Fairfield will try to hold for the last shot. Miller checks the clock and pulls it back outside. Again, you see that clock, right-hand side of the screen in the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Mast drives with the right hand, couldn't get it to go. Hofer's tip is awry, and Mishawaka will go to the locker room with a 6-point lead, but not before Craig Heatherly has a chance to speak with Mishawaka head coach Bodie Bender. Go ahead, Craig.
Coach Bender, defensively there, I think every bucket but one was outside the paint for them. What'd you see there defensively? What kind of adjustment are you seeing here in the second half?
They're starting to really get us on staggers away, and when we switch it, they're starting to drive the baseline. We've got to do a better job of getting somebody in the help side. And then on top of that, when they got the ball in the opposite corner, they're screening in and catching us on that a couple times as well. You know, for Fairfield, I thought they played harder than us in the first half and done a better job of offensive rebounding than we have.
I know offensively you want to try and spread them out and drive it. You had some success there down down the stretch in the second quarter. What are you going to tell the team there offensively?
I think offensively, you know, against their defense, they've done a really good job of packing the lane, taking that away from us. Luckily enough, there in the second quarter, we've hit a couple threes with Maddox Yohe hitting 2, Tommy Herringer hit 1. So hopefully maybe that'll start to bring them out a little bit and open up some driving lanes for us.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, Craig, everybody stick around. A lot to talk about on our St. Joe County Police Department halftime show. Alex Hofer and the Falcons were hot from beyond the arc. Mitchell Miller tried to keep them in the game, but Mishawaka has had more firepower. Maddox Yohe with the 3, and the Cavemen lead by 6. Going to the break on 46. It is halftime here at the Cave in Mishawaka. Time to honor our Student Athletes of the Week. It's a feature brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher and Health Markets. Boy, these are two outstanding representatives. Between them, they average a 4.0 grade point average. Both of them right in the neighborhood. Seth Yoder from Fairfield, Christian Chavez from Mishawaka. We always start with the visitor first. Not only is Seth a member of the basketball team, as you saw in the first half, also a member of the Falcons tennis team, and getting it done in the classroom with a 3.9, 2 sports and that kind of GPA. How do you balance all your time?
I mean, mostly just using your time wisely in the classroom, especially when teachers give you it. And instead of sitting on your phone, I mean, just doing your homework on time.
You're a senior on this team. It's a pretty young team that you're the leader of. What's it like to be a captain and a leader on this group?
I mean, we lost a lot of valuable leadership from last year, so I mean, I learned a lot from them, and I got great teammates. I mean, I don't do it by myself, so yeah, it's a shout out to them.
Now, I know that somebody had to instill those kind of values in you. Who is your support system?
My parents are huge. I mean, financially and just emotionally support. I mean, it's great. And my coaches, my teachers, everybody.
So you're doing a great job at Fairfield, but those days are coming to an end. What do you intend to do once you graduate?
I plan to attend college for business. I have a few colleges in mind, but I have not decided on one yet.
What made you interested in business?
Well, my dad has a business or a sales business, so I'm kind of thinking going towards that. So yeah, that degree would help with that.
Best of luck to you in the future. That is Seth Yoder from Fairfield. Over here, this young man is Christian Chavez, a member of the outstanding Mishawaka wrestling team, which, by the way, is your team state champion from the dual meet that they had. Christian wrestling at 195 pounds. I'll get there one day. But nevertheless, what is it like to be a 4.1 student and still have this incredible commitment that you have to wrestling? How do you do that?
It comes down to balancing it, athletics and academics. Academics is just as important, if not more important. Keeping both balance is just, it's a good attitude to have, and it'll pay off.
The individual state tournament right around the corner here for wrestling. Obviously, your goal is the state championship. You wrestled well here in the Al Smith Invitational. How much confidence does that give you going into the tournament this year?
Yeah, especially in that finals match. A lot of things didn't go my way. I just kind of held composure, maybe I should have killed that kid by more, but I didn't. But I stuck in the fight, and I poured it out. And I think I learned a lot from that match, and hopefully it will continue with me throughout the state series.
See a lot of people standing around here taking pictures and videos of you here tonight. Tell me about the support system that you have around you.
Yeah, Mishawaka, it's a great school. My coaches, my family, it's a great foundation. Mishawaka wrestling is just an awesome tradition, and I'm blessed to be able to carry the tradition on.
You're going to go to a school that most people around here probably have never heard of, West Liberty. What made you make that choice?
Yes, West Liberty. They're a D2 powerhouse. Local Fort Wayne coaches reached out to me, Kyle Hatch and Danny Irwin. They're out in West Virginia. Gave me some scholarship money. I went out there, took my visit, fell in love with the place, the mountains, the state. It's beautiful. They had good facilities, good people, and when I stepped foot on campus, I knew that I wanted to be there.
Well, Kyle Hatch is a 46 Sports follower on Twitter, so that's probably where he found you. Best of luck to you, Christian.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Christian Chavez from Mishawaka, Seth Yoder from Fairfield, our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. Stick around. We've got halftime stats and highlights from the Cave in Mishawaka when the 46th Game of the Week continues. Halftime here in the Cave in Mishawaka with the home team, the Cavemen, looking for their 11th straight win and leading Fairfield by a count of 25-19. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt courtside tonight. A very entertaining first half from the standpoint of you got to see a lot of three-pointers. Was not necessarily the greatest execution by either side.
Yeah, I mean, the shot selection was there. They just weren't able to knock them down. But the reason we're here is not because the team was 3-9, 13-2, and we thought it was going to be a good matchup for Mishawaka. We knew it was going to be a good matchup for Fairfield as well, and they were going to be tested tonight. And both teams are being tested right now.
Well, you heard Bodie Bender say he felt like the Falcons outplayed Mishawaka, out-hustled them in the first half. I'm sure that won't sit well with the head coach inside the locker room at the intermission, but let's show you how it got to be this way in the Princess City tonight, because both teams came out firing inside. A nice cut by Cooper Pritchett to get the layup. He had 4 in the first half, but Fairfield reined it in from the outside. Tyson Fry with the 3 there. Grady Fisher, the leading scorer in that first half. It's the baby hook and the bucket and the bump right there. He had 7 points, and they all came in the first quarter. Alex Hofer, though, continued that three-point shooting for Fairfield from the outside, and it became a little bit of a three-point shooting contest. You saw Noah Mass drain a couple. Then everybody came out to guard the 3. Mitchell Miller drove the baseline, but Maddox Yohe hit back-to-back 3s at the end of the half, and that's the cushion for the Cavemen, those 6 points. The first half shooting numbers, not all that good. The rebounding, probably one of the reasons Mishawaka has the lead.
Yeah, you look at that, and it was a little skewed at the beginning towards Fairfield, but Mishawaka really recovered on those rebounds. But I think the biggest thing in that first half was Yohe hitting those 2 3-pointers right at the end to give him that 6-point lead. I mean, those 2 back-to-back 3s were huge for Mishawaka to go in the locker room and have a lead.
Cavemen missed their first 5 from beyond the arc in the first half. If they start hitting those, it could be a tough night for Fairfield. Mishawaka looking to win its 11th straight, leading 25-19. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Third quarter play-by-play from the Cave comes your way after this on 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Before we get to Craig Heatherly's Bills Heating Courtside Report, let's ask our TCU trivia question tonight. Which Heatherly brothers scored the most points at Mishawaka? Oh, you've got a number to choose from. So, with that in mind, let's go to Craig Heatherly with a Bills Heating Courtside Report. What did Derek Heinen have to say at the half?
I know the answer to that question.
I'm sure you do.
Coach liked his team's effort there in the first half. Although they didn't score the ball well around the rim, he thinks they're moving the ball really well, anticipating some more pressure from Mishawaka. So he wants his team to continue to play for each other and make the right play. And then obviously when the ball goes up on the rim, he wants to see his guys go after the ball and chase down long rebounds. But defensively, like their effort, their energy, just can't lose shooters like they did in the second quarter.
So while we've got a few seconds before the third quarter, Would you like to go ahead and answer the TCU trivia question, Mr. Heatherly?
And then I'd like to pose one question for you, Mr. Freebie.
Yes, go ahead.
I believe the answer is Stephen Heatherly.
Do you know how many points he had?
I do not.
864.
But my next trivia question is, who has the most wins?
My question would be, who took the most shots, though?
Oh, I can answer that. He's still taking them. 25-19 Cavemen as we start the third quarter. Fairfield will have the basketball. And you have to take a look and see, okay, Bodie Bender has basically gone with his starting lineup, except Tommy Herringer in the game in the middle to begin the third quarter. It's worth pointing out, Mishawaka, on average this season, has outscored opponents by 8 points in the third quarter. They tend to wear them down with this depth. We'll see if that's the case here with this Fairfield bunch tonight.
Going low with a little trap here to start off the second half.
Seth Yoder back in the game for Fairfield. Remember, he sat much of the first half with 2 fouls. Mitchell Miller. Lost it on the outside. You can see a problem for Fairfield. It's the double dribble, and their 6th turnover of the game.
Millersburg Lumber proudly supports the Falcons. Millersburg Lumber has been in business for over 100 years and is a complete building supply center with exceptional customer service.
The trap by Bodie Bender paying dividends on the first defensive possession. Now let's see if the Cavemen can expand their lead here in the third. Art Jones trying to post up down low. Rasan Johnson. Here's Herringer. Big fella spinning, fading. Came up short. And then I believe Cooper Pritchett's going to be called for the foul here going after the loose ball.
E.B. Ford in Goshen is proud to support the Falcons athletics. E.B. Ford has been serving the community for over 100 years. When you're ready to buy or sell, visit ebford.com. It's easy. That's E.B.
See, Pritchett got the better part of the chin that time of Mitchell Miller. Good catch by Hofer, a receiver on the football team for Fairfield. And another double dribble on the Falcons. Their 2nd straight. A little bit of, you can see it in their eyes here at courtside, a little bit of being rattled by that trap of Mishawaka.
Yeah, I mean, come out something different. Coaches like to do that a little bit. Start half, start quarters, come out with something different that they haven't seen to kind of rattle them a little bit, and it worked.
Pritchett underneath, took his time, couldn't hit. And the rebound controlled by Maston, fouled by Pritchett.
Pritchett getting back-to-back fouls here to start the second half.
He's a competitive young man. Ask anybody on that Caveman baseball team. Fairfield trying to get off its first shot here of the third quarter. Hofer had to kick it back outside. Good transition defense that time by Mishawaka. Mast for 3. Came up empty. Seth Yoder with the rebound, and I believe he's fouled by Tommy Herringer.
Seth Yoder at 5'7", the smallest on the court, coming up between the trees and getting that rebound.
The foul called on Herringer. As you get another look here from R&B Car Company, Fairfield going to the line for the first time for free throws sponsored by E.B. Ford. Yoder, you saw him there at halftime, one of our Tony Letcher Health Market student athletes with that 3.9 GPA. And he's a 50% foul shooter on the year.
Hometown Pharmacy in Warsaw is the best place to go for your pharmaceutical needs. Call to schedule your seasonal flu shots today. Hometown is proud to support the Fairfield and Mishawaka High School basketball teams.
Yoder knocks them both down. Fairfield cuts the gap to 4. Hofer has done a nice job defending Jones tonight. Gets over there in a hurry. Inside it goes. Fisher too big, too strong. Brady with 9 tonight. That leads this Mishawaka squad. Yoder in the corner. Too hard, but Hofer lost the rebound out of bounds, and Derek Heinen really thinks there should be a foul call here.
Yeah, it looks like Hofer might have had a better position on Pritchett on that play, and Pritchett kind of undercut with his butt a little bit. And he might have had a little bit of a complaint with that. Here's a R&B Car Company replay. You can kind of see it's a far rebound, and so when that happens, you kind of get out of position.
Meanwhile, Rasan Johnson goes strong to the hole. Cavemen now up by 8 and with their biggest lead. Fairfield beats the 10-second violation. Lockwood in strong and gets the layup. Dayton Lockwood, the 5'10 senior, averages 3 a game, and the all-conference football player scores. Jones with a dipsy-do, but Herringer is there to clean up the mess.
Herringer just came down the lane. Nobody put a body on him. He was able to go all the way to the hoop to get that rebound. Here you can see it on the R&B Car Company replay. Everybody's looking around, looking for that ball. Hey, when you're 6'4" with that size, you're going to go in there, and they're not going to put a body on you.
He's a tough fellow to put a body on. And Tommy has lost some weight. He has really improved his game this season. 76% free throw shooter. Nails that one. The free throw for Mishawaka puts them back up by 9. 2-on-1 for Fairfield. They'll take the 3 but can't make it with Brant Garber. But the rebound loose, and Hofer controls it. Hofer tried to drive on Pritchett. Mast catches in the post and scores. Noah Mast with his first 2-pointer of the night. He averages 9 a game. He's got 8 this evening. But Mishawaka up by 7.
I like how they went back inside to him twice right there in a row when he had the advantage on the height.
Jones in the corner. Johnson tried to drive baseline, cut off. Fisher made a nice cut, but Johnson couldn't give him the ball. They find Fisher down on the post, though. Couldn't get to go, though, and here comes Fairfield with numbers, and they threw it away.
Fairfield just getting ahead of themselves just a little bit. And again, you talked about that pressure that Mishawaka is putting on them with the trap and with the full court press every once in a while as well. Trying to get them to speed it up. And I've seen a few unforced shots really quick by Fairfield as well.
Derek Heinen, that shot may not have shown the frustration he's been feeling, but we've been able to see it over here on the Fairfield bench. Jones has been held scoreless tonight. No longer. Art Jones with his first basket. Remember, he's averaging 16 a game. The Falcons get it across. Here's Fry for 3. That rims out. Herringer the rebound. And the Cavemen elevate. And that's got to be a technical foul called on Rasan Johnson.
They're going to talk about it.
It's basket interference instead, not a technical foul for grabbing on the rim. So Johnson tried to elevate for the dunk, couldn't get it done. Fairfield gets the ball back, but still trailing by 9, and get the feeling Mishawaka has been able to get them to play at their pace. Jones with the steal, couldn't finish. Now a drive by Mast. Miller feeds the big man underneath. He lost the handle. It's still loose. Herringer dives for it. Big fella gets the timeout from Bodie Bender. And Mishawaka will have the ball with 2:44 to go in the third. Great hustle by Herringer. And the Cavemen expand their lead on 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by HealthLink, your community health center.
Go ahead. Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Mishawaka undefeated in the NLC. I'll tell you another team undefeated in the NLC, and now they're ranked #1 in Class 3A, the Northwood Panthers, but they go to a house of horrors called the Tiger Den. On Friday night, we'll have it for you. Friday night, 11, Saturday morning at 9, Northwood and Warsaw. Folks, I can't believe it, but Northwood has not won in Warsaw since 2001. Fisher with the right hand for 2.
Fisher with 11 points tonight. His average really leading this team on the inside.
That's his 11th game in double figures this season. Great pass by Yoder to Garber for 3. It won't go, and Herringer the rebound. Mishawaka now up double digits. Remember, they were up by 6 at halftime, and this is their way of doing things, getting things loose in the third quarter. A travel, though, on Fisher.
Fairfield's getting the looks. They're just not able to knock down the shots. They're getting up the floor. Mishawaka's got them forced to really speed this game up, and they're getting those shots. They just need to knock them down.
And by the way, remember all those subs we saw from Mishawaka in the second quarter? Bodie Bender hasn't gone to his bench once here in the third. Garber hits the trailer mast. Now Fry powering over Herringer for 2. Tyson Fry with 7.
Martin Supermarkets, groceries to go. Annual subscriptions are now available. Just $29.99 for the year. Get ad pricing, digital coupons, and recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martiansgroceriestogo.com.
And here's what you've seen from Fairfield a lot this year. They're not getting blown out by teams. And in fact, they stand in there, and Seth Yoder takes the charge from Rasan Johnson. They do not go away. Fairfield will go to its bench. Brooks Custer will come in for Yoder, who is a tennis player, not a football player. He's not used to that kind of contact.
The other thing with Fairfield is they can get some points back maybe in the fourth quarter from the free throw line. Mishawaka already at 4 fouls here late in the third quarter. Fairfield only at 1.
Garber trapped. Now they work it to Brooks Custer. Fairfield trying to work the possession, chisel their way back into this one. Fry. Mast has hit a couple of those tonight, but instead he goes in strong over Jackson Snyder for 2. I think that's something Derek Heinen wants to see a lot more of from Noah Mast.
Yeah, just his ability with his size to be inside and take it to the hoop. He does a great job when he stays in there.
Fairfield back within 7, and Bodie Bender wants to take another timeout. We'll take it as well. 39.5 seconds to go in the third. Fairfield back within 7 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week meeting brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Bodie Bender calling the timeout there on the Mishawaka bench. Boy, you certainly can't argue with the results Bodie has had in his coaching career. He is a member of the Area 700 Club, and we'll see another member of that club on Friday night with Aaron Wolf.
Yeah, Aaron Wolf, Bodie Bender, just great job coaching in the area. Aaron on Friday night, we'll see him again. He just promoted that against Warsaw down in the Tiger Den. Tough place to play, Tiger Den. Doesn't matter if you're the #1 ranked team or not. You go down there, it's a tough place to play.
Don't forget college basketball coming up on the radio this weekend. Thursday night, we get you started with #1 Purdue taking on Michigan at Chrysler Arena. That's a 9 o'clock tip-off on 103.1 FM. And then Saturday night, the resurgent Indiana Hoosiers play host to Ohio State at the Simon Scott Assembly Hall. That's at 8 o'clock Saturday night on 103.1. Mishawaka, can they hold for the last shot? Fairfield came out to trap. Art Jones decides to pass on the shot. Maddox Yohe back in the game now. Remember, he had those 2 big threes at the end of the first half. That's Jackson Snyder throws it away. Here's Hofer for Fairfield. Yohe pursues. Hofer lost the handle, and now Fisher races the other way and threw it away. Herringer sliding hard into those metal bleachers down at the end.
It's kind of nice watching Fisher and Herringer run down the floor together, leading that break, the two big men.
Now the last chance for Fairfield here in the third. Mast with a wild shot that's off the mark. And that's how the third quarter comes to an end. Well, Mishawaka couldn't explode as they normally do, but they got enough explosion from guys like Rasan Johnson, Dayton Lockwood, and Fairfield, though, hanging tough. Falcons only down 7, headed to the fourth on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter since 1914. Craig Heatherly making our broadcast brighter. He joins us with a Bills Heating courtside report. Craig, your thoughts on this 1 through 3?
Yeah, you saw the halftime adjustment by Coach Bender, applying pressure in the full court and then also pressuring the basketball there in the half court, forcing Fairfield to play a little bit faster. And as the saying goes, pressure either bursts pipes or it can make diamonds. We'll see what happens here in the fourth quarter as this pace continues to keep up and if Fairfield can take care of the basketball and make great plays.
One wonders if either of these teams can get to 50 tonight, but that's kind of a goal for both, as Hometown Pharmacy reminds us. Both of these teams are undefeated this year when reaching 50 points.
Points are hard to come by tonight, and I think here in the fourth quarter, if one of the teams can get hot from the three-point range, I think they can do it.
It would require a yeoman effort for Fairfield, but they may need that anyway. Herringer up strong inside for 2. He had that big body on Mast and would not be denied. Tommy with 8. And Mishawaka's really done the job in the paint.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about, them having the height advantage, the size advantage, and taking advantage of that in the paint. They've done that tonight.
Mast with a little shake and bake on Herringer. And a good deflection by Jackson Snyder, but Hofer was able to save it briefly. Now it's Fisher over Hofer. Couldn't get it to go. Snyder the rebound. Tied up on the alternating possession. It goes to Fairfield.
Casper's Coin and Jewelry supports Falcon Athletics. Casper's Coin and Jewelry buys and sells gold, silver, and coins. Check out Casper'sCoinsGoshen.com.
This has been a little bit of a taffy pull here in the second half. Both teams just working each other over. Art Jones called for the foul here on Hofer. That's the first on Art. We have not had a lot of fouls in this game. That's the 5th on Mishawaka.
Art only 2 points tonight, averaging 16 on the season. Fairfield's just done a great job of containing him tonight.
And actually, Derek Heinen's defense might want to start ramping up some pressure as the 3 by Garber is off the mark and the rebound by Fisher. Because Fairfield only has 1 foul. If you get to a point where you need Mishawaka to miss some free throws to get the ball back, they may not be able to get it. Jones missed the layup, but Herringer again on the cleanup committee. And Tommy with 10. That's his 7th game in double figures this season. The bigs are saving the day for the Cavemen. Good help and recover defense that time by Mishawaka. Mast with the drive, and he's bodied up too much by Herringer, but just the 2nd on Tommy, 6th on the team.
Yeah, Fisher and Herringer have been great on the inside, cleaning up everything on the inside. I think that's the biggest thing. The offensive rebounds, the putbacks. When you got 2 guys that are able to clean everything up on the inside, both of them averaging right around that 10-point mark. The thing is it's about every other game they're in double figures.
Yoder, Fry, and Lockwood all check in for Fairfield. Makes you wonder if Yoder will uncork, and he does. Seth Yoder with a 3. It's sponsored by OA Construction Services. And just like that, Fairfield back within 8. We mentioned Yoder, a 46% three-point shooter coming into the action tonight. Herringer short on that shot. Fry the rebound for Fairfield. Tyson Fry, spinorama, awkward shot, but he was pushed. Well, maybe the push is on the outside shot, though, and not on the shooter, because they call the foul on Herringer, and that's his third.
Here's the replay. You'll see it. Just got somebody, moved his body into him as he was moving his feet. And they're at 1-1.
Free throw sponsored by E.B. Ford. Tyson Fry, only a 50% free throw shooter. Big IU fan. Fry now with 8. Miller checks back in.
OA Construction Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics. OA Construction Services, when you want commercial renovations done right.
Fry couldn't get that one to go, and Herringer with a good box up. That is the first free throw missed by either team tonight. Granted, there haven't been a lot of them. Hofer with the foul there. That's just his second and the team's second.
We've mentioned maybe playing a little bit more physical and maybe doing some trapping and maybe getting up on them just a little bit.
You can afford to be aggressive if you're Fairfield. A, you've got nothing to lose. You're 3-9. B, and can afford to collect fouls. There's nobody with more than 2. Bucket in the butt there for Jones. Heinen thought sure there was a travel.
Art Jones able to take it to the basket and finish that time. He hasn't been able to finish all night. Here you're seeing the R&B Car Company replay. Just a great job. And, oh, yeah, Frey just held onto his arm there as he was going up.
Jones is a 64% free throw shooter. The 5'9" senior, much better driving and attacking to the basket the last couple of years. And the Cavemen lead expands to 10. Grady Garber with the catch outside. Fry double teamed again. Miller. Fry thinks about taking that 3 over Herringer. They don't expect Hofer to shoot outside, but he will shoot from there and hit. Alex Hofer with 5. Fairfield acquitting itself well against this NLC school. But the Falcons running low on time. Herringer takes that big body in the paint for the bucket and the bump, and Tommy is feeling it.
Tommy Herringer with 12 points on the night. Just a great job on the inside of taking up space.
Herringer has really adapted to his 6th-man role here. Fine baseball player. A lot of people think he could be a college pitcher. But he has shown a much better touch despite that free throw. 10-point lead for the Cavemen. And they knocked the ball out of bounds here.
And remember tonight, his first points were a 3-pointer from the top of the key tonight.
Fairfield wants a timeout here with 4:28 to go. We'll take it as well. Mishawaka looking for its 11th straight win and their longest winning streak in 18 years. Lead it by 10 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the IHSAA, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years.
A new year means new beginnings, so isn't it time to work for a company where employees are the most valuable asset? Hey, well, now's your chance because Reshcore in Bristol is hiring. Production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family, visit reshcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Here's a Mishawaka team that is about 4 minutes away from raising its record on the season to 14-2. But we've made the point a couple of times tonight. The meat of their schedule is really coming up. And it could start as early as Friday night when they go to Goshen, which hasn't been the easiest place for people to go in and play this year.
Yeah, I mean, Goshen's one of those teams that gives you fits as well. And you look at this Fairfield team, they're going to be a little bit better than this Fairfield team, so they need to come to play, come ready to go. And I think that's going to be one of the concerns. I think that's the concern of a lot of people is how they're going to come out with a quality team and how they're going to compete against that quality team.
And then after Goshen, it's the combo of Northwood and Warsaw. Warsaw would be first. They play Northwood on February 10th.
Good thing about that Northwood game is here at the Cave.
Pritchett inside. Cooper puts it in for 2. Cooper the Hooper with 6. Yoder for 3, airing it up. It's sponsored by OA Construction Services, and Derek Heinen will take a 30-second timeout as Seth Yoder goes into double figures with 11. 3:40 to go in this one. Fairfield now within 9 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and the 46 sports.
The Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is a proud supporter of all student athletes.
Always great to come back here to the Cave in Mishawaka. So many familiar faces, including our buddy Keith Kinder, the football coach at Mishawaka, in the stands tonight.
See old Cavemen girls coach sitting up there, Kevin Gradeless as well. Come watch the Cavemen, the next Caveman himself.
There's Keith, ignoring us per usual.
Yep.
Grady Garber called for the foul there. That is now the 5th on Fairfield, so Derek Heinen getting his team to start racking up those fouls, hoping that they can get back into this game by extending it, and they'll be called for a foul there too, as Art Jones is fouled hard on the way up by Alex Hofer.
Not sure there was much contact in there. Looks like Art Jones kind of went up. Not sure if they're going to have a replay of that or not, but it looked like he went up, got caught in the air, and fell down.
So you see the timeouts left. Fairfield with 3, Mishawaka with 2. Fairfield trying to make a trap on Jones in the backcourt, but that did not work. But Herringer couldn't hang on to the pass.
What a pass by Jones right there. Kind of a no-look underhand. Herringer just could not hold on to that ball.
They still looking at his hands.
Yeah, and they just can't put Fairfield away. It's one of those things. They just keep coming down and hitting that big shot.
Yoder nearly reined in another 3 right there, and I would say Yohe boxed out for the rebound, but it just came right to him, and then Yoder is called for the foul. That's his 3rd.
Again, I'm not sure how you call that foul on Yoder. Yohe just putting his head down, trying to get the foul called, running into him. Here's the R&B Car Company replay. See, right from the start, at this point, he's just backing up. I mean, Yohe's going to the sideline on that play.
Well, Yohe's going to the foul line now, where he's a 67% free throw shooter on the year.
Maddox,
6 points tonight.
Maddox with the 2 big threes in that first half.
Nearly hauled in that rebound, but instead Fairfield gets it back. Chance to cut the lead down to a 2-possession game if they can rein in a 3. Instead, Fry has to kick it back outside. Yoder takes the 3, makes the 3. It's a 2-possession game. 14 points for Seth Yoder tonight. His career high came against Wawasee with 18, now nearly a tie-up. Fairfield giving the Cavemen all they can handle here, and Yoder fouls Jackson Snyder, who is a 74% free throw shooter.
The Fairfield Athletic Department is incredibly proud of all their student athletes who compete in the classroom and their sport. Also, thank you to all the managers, coaches, and event workers, because their support is what makes the Falcons fly.
Snyder, only a sophomore. In fact, he is the lone sophomore in the lineup tonight. Very poised young man. He came in his varsity debut last year against Goshen and scored 9. has not scored a point tonight until now.
On the other hand, Seth Yoder picking up his 4th foul here in the game. Their main 3-point threat at this time.
Yeah, they can't afford to have him take any more for the team. Snyder makes it an 8-point contest. Fairfield will race it across with Grady Garber. It's Mast for 3. That's off. Yoder knocked the ball away, but Jones keeps it in play, loses it to Mast. He'll take the 3. It's short. Rebound by Garber, and he travels.
Yeah, he just jumped up, went over the top. Garber was able to come up with it, but he couldn't come down on his own feet. He landed on the back of one of the cavemen and fell down.
Get another look at it from R&B Car Company. Good angle there. I think Garber thought he might be able to get a foul called, but nobody really leaned into him. Art Jones will try to control the ball now. Derek Heinen wanted a push-off called on Jones there, to no avail. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Good split that time by Snyder. Down low to Fisher. Gives it up to Herringer. Big fellas connect. Herringer with 14. Hofer gives it up. Miller tried to go down low. Fry battled for 2. And a timeout by Derek Heinen with 1:26 left. And Fairfield still up by 8, or trailing by 8.
Hometown Pharmacy in Warsaw is the best place to go for your pharmaceutical needs. Call to schedule your seasonal flu shots today. Hometown is proud to support the Fairfield and Mishawaka High School basketball teams.
51-43, Mishawaka in the lead in this one. As you look into that huddle, Derek Heinen trying to find a way to rally his team. They do not have an easy week. They get home from a lengthy road trip tonight and have to get ready for a West Noble team that is ranked number 6 in Class 3A. In fact, if you look around this area, 4 of the top 6 teams in Class 3A are from Michiana. You've got Northwood at number 1, Marion at number 2, South Bend Washington 4, and West Noble 6.
And the funny thing about all those 4 is 2 go one way in the playoffs and 2 go the other way in the playoffs. So they wouldn't meet until later on, but they would meet up early, the first 2 of those.
And of course for Fairfield, they fear that this might be one of those nights where they're once again close but not good enough. Their last 3 losses by a combined 6 points, including one where Garrett banked home a 3-pointer with 0.4 seconds left.
Yeah, when we talked about that, I mean, they could easily be 6-6, 7-5 at this point. I mean, they're a team that's going to go out there, they're going to compete, and they're going to compete, and they're going to compete.
They just have not been able to find the way to get over the top tonight. Credit Yohe and the Cavemen with that as Yohe dribbles outside. Yohe lost the handle, and Fry gets it back for Fairfield. Falcons will race across with Hofer. Garber. Fry will take, but not make the 3, and Fisher a big rebound for Mishawaka with less than a minute left. Jones has Yohe out in front. Jones to Herringer. And Herringer is fouled. And I think that basketball got him in a tender area. Bodie Bender will send his big man to the line, but the officials will give him a chance to walk it off.
Yeah, not only that, they were putting a little bit of time back on the clock as well. Went down to about 44 seconds, and the clock was running as he was on the floor, and the whistle had already blown.
So Tommy Herringer, you've seen that physical inside presence tonight. This is his 3rd year on the varsity. This is a guy that, as a freshman, I remember Bob Nagel sitting where you're sitting now, Bo, and he was just in love with this kid. Thought that he could really be a formidable player here, and he has developed into one.
Yeah, I mean, just a junior, so he's got some playing time that he's developed into that. But again, you said earlier, he's a pretty good baseball player as well. That's probably where his future is.
15 points for Herringer tonight as the foul is called on Art Jones, and we parade to the other end for free throws for Fairfield, sponsored by EB4. Tyson Fry going to the line. Tyson with 10 points tonight. His career high 15 against Goshen this season. Couldn't get that one to go, and Fisher another big rebound and a foul called out of Hofer. We're not exactly getting a lot of ticks off the clock here.
For Fairfield, that's definitely what they want. But for Mishawaka, that was a real early foul that they had called on them that last possession.
Brady Fisher going to the line where he will shoot the double bonus now. Mentioned earlier, 70% free throw shooter. Boy, there have been some really good brothers in that family who have played here. As Brady hits the first. Of course, CJ made a huge tackle to win a Penn Mishawaka football game on 46. And then, of course, Justin, who is a walk-on now at the University of Notre Dame. Brady, 1 of 2 at the stripe. He has 12 points tonight. Hofer explodes to the hole, but blocked by Rasan Johnson. It's out of bounds off Hofer. And Derek Heinen pleading for a foul on the baseline. Jones in the backcourt. Johnson to Fisher, an easy 2 for Brady, and he has 14. So the bigs really getting it done for the Cavemen tonight. Yoder had to kick it outside. Garber has it taken away. Pritchett will leave it for Johnson to finish off. Rasan Johnson with 6. Here's Mast for 3. It won't go. His 2-point attempt will, and this one is in the books at the Cave. Mishawaka has won its 11th in a row, beating Fairfield tonight by a count of 57-45. The Cavemen remain undefeated when they score 50 or more. Now stick around, a lot to talk about on the St. Joe County Police Department post-game show, including our electrifying play of the game, and we'll do it all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
They're cleaning up at the Cave after their team cleaned up tonight on the boards and inside and came away with a 57-45 win over Fairfield. Chuck and Bo inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth as we welcome you in. It's funny, though, you look at the faces of the Mishawaka players and coaches as they walk by while we're getting ready to do our pregame or postgame show. They don't look happy.
It was an ugly win by all accounts on their part, and you know, they come in here, they expected a 3-19 for them to come in, do their thing, work on some things, adjust on some things. Well, they were in a dogfight this whole game.
Fairfield played them tough. Remember, they got it down to a 2-possession game in the fourth quarter when Yoder hit one of his threes. He had 14 tonight. But the real difference makers for Mishawaka tonight were their big men. They just had no answer, Fairfield didn't. And Brady Fisher had a really nice game, but the guy that came off the bench and led the Cavemen in scoring is Tommy Herringer, and he is standing by now with Craig Heatherly.
All right, we are here with the player of the game. Tommy, it's your 3rd year on varsity. You guys are 14-2. You've won, I don't even know how many straight, a ton. What's it feel like right now in this moment?
Man, it's just kind of really hard to believe. I mean, being a part, like you said, of this team for 3 years, seeing how far each and every one came from, I mean, just seeing how far everyone came, really, it's fun to see. Good team chemistry out there, really fun guys to play with.
The separation in the game there happened in the third quarter with your guys' defensive pressure. Tell us about the emphasis that Coach Bender puts on that side of the basketball.
We come out at halftime, we call it the big boy lineup. We put out the big guys, run those guys out there, and thank you. Seems to be the third quarter is when we make our push, so I think that's just the best lineup when we have the best chemistry out there, so good defense.
Your game is simple. You play to your strengths. As a coach, you give players roles, and you want them to be stars in the role. You were a star in your role tonight. What does that mean for you to do that for your team?
I think it just kind of helps everyone else build off of me. I mean, I personally get my things from my teammates, and I hope that my teammates get it from me. So I think it's just a boost of energy for everyone.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the win. Enjoy this time. That record is impressive. Go enjoy the time with your teammates in the locker room. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. And now time to look at our electrical workers, Local 153, electrifying play of the game. The other big guy for Mishawaka providing a magic moment in the first.
Yeah, Brady Fisher just did a great job on this play. There's a block shot. He was able to get the loose ball, put it up with that body control, knock it down, got the bucket and the bump right at the end of the first quarter. And I think that was another one of the key turning points in this game.
Those two alone contributing more than half of the points for the Cavemen tonight. But Bodie Bender knows his team has some work to do if it's going to stay unbeaten in the NLC as they head to Goshen on Friday night. Meanwhile, Fairfield, it doesn't get any easier because they have to take on number 6 West Noble on Friday night.
Yeah, 11 straight wins for Mishawaka. Not sure if that beats Craig's team back in 04-05, but, great job by Mishawaka, but they're going to have their work cut out for them come Friday.
So the sportsmanship shown by both teams tonight, something they pride themselves on here at the Cave, and we were so happy to be here to bring it to you. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who helped bring you this one. Dean Korsmo set up shop, and then the bubbly one, Tony Beltran, ran things, and Killer Kowalski was left in charge and did a fine job tonight as well. A reminder, more high school basketball comes your way on Friday night. We'll be at the Tiger Den in Warsaw as number 1 Northwood visits the Warsaw Tigers, and we've got college basketball on the radio Thursday night. The number 1 ranked Purdue Boilermakers head into Chrysler Arena to take on the Michigan Wolverines. That's a 9 o'clock tip-off on 103.1. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now from our broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Mishawaka legend Craig Heatherly, it's Chuck Freeby. The final, the Cavemen win their 11th straight over Fairfield, 57-45. So long from the Princess City.